What's up YouTube, Awesome Yugo here, and by God, we have not had a deck profile in quite some time, almost a month I think, at least 3 weeks, but we're back and today I'll be profiling Infernoids, which I actually don't have any profiles up on my channel yet, so this will be completely new. And it's actually a deck I think will become very extremely viable later on in the upcoming 2 to 3 formats maybe, and right now it's even a good deck. Definitely beating Necros it can beat Necros pretty consistently. Of course, you have some problems with the Necros matchup, mostly being getting trished. Although it's kind of easy to empty your hand at least, or emptying your field when they try to trish you. But mostly the Gin Lock, which is why, of course, we do have to run some outs in the main deck, which I'll show you in a minute. So yeah, without further ado, let's get to the profile. We do play a pretty high monster count, of course. It is a mill deck. It's kind of luck based on some forms as well. This deck kind of makes me think about Lightsworn in the Dragon Ruler format, or in the when we had the 1/1/1 dragons, one Blaster, one Tidal, one Tempest, with the Eclipse Wyverns. And just Dragon Ruler in general, to be honest. So this kind of has some, this deck kind of has some of both those decks. So we run the one Anaku and one Devieti. On Anku, I believe, I'm not sure how these cards are pronounced. But this is the Dark Hole, and this is the Heavy Storm. And of course this can negate the activations or effects of spells and traps. This can negate monster effects as well when you attribute something. Both one is definitely the number you want to go with. These cards are extreme pressure on your opponent when you put them on the field. And I don't know why, but some people thought Anaku could actually negate monster effects for the longest time. And if you're playing this deck and you still think that, that's not the case, come on. Read the card, you know. But okay. Of course, real quick about the Infernoids, all of these have the restriction when you have a total of or more than 8 levels on the field, including ranks, by effect monsters. Let's not forget that. You can't special summon these. So it's actually, I just went in how this is kind of a luck-based deck. There is some skill playing this deck as well involved. There is some skill involved. But it's not the most skillful deck out there ever, but you do have to play your cards right to maximize your options with the deck and maximize your win chances. So we have one of each of, let's just say these are the big boss monsters. You have some other boss monsters as well. Then now for some of these smaller guys, Triple Harmadic, which is expensive for absolutely no reason, but this is the guy that pops the monsters. Triple Antra. This bounces something, and that's actually really important. Now, I do play a lot of these at 3, pretty much all of them, all the ones I play, except for the big boss guys. Because you do want to get most value out of when you're milling. So you do want to mill at least 1 or even 2 of these out of every Reasoning or Monster Gate or Charge or Lightsworn effect, which allows you to mill. You do want to hit like 50% of the mills should be Infernoids. Then you're doing a good job with your milling. So even though some of these aren't that viable when you summon them, you do want to play them. But this really helps out some things, like Window, for example. Of course, some more things. So I do play these at 3. Then I only play 2 of these. This is the new guy, the Night Beam, kind of like Night Beam for set cards at least. And he actually has some synergy with Book of Eclipse, which I main deck as well, which you'll see in a second. And kind of with some other cards, but that's kind of far-fetched to be honest. But for example, Castell. Like I said, that's kind of far-fetched. But he is just a level 1, and he is kind of a good inclusion. This is from Cross Souls, is the set? Yeah, Cross Souls. So the newest set, that's why, where Primus Permaze, like I said, I'm not sure how you pronounce these cards. Permaze and Deviati came out in. But Infernoids will be getting more support in future sets. So 2 Permaze, and then you have your triple back row popper, Patrulia, 1800. When you use the effect of these small guys, Patrulia for example, he can't actually attack that turn. That's not that big of an issue. Usually you're going to either tribute them for one of your other boss monsters, or you're just going to use them for synchro or overlay. So not being able to attack isn't that big of a deal, but you have to keep that in mind. And then for the other boss monsters, so you have the big boss monsters, and then you have your boss monsters. On Sandel, he can attack twice at each battle phase, which is extremely good, 2800. He allows for some of the OTKs. And triple Sight Smash, and he can banish a card at the end of the battle phase when he attacked. Level 7, level 8, and these are your boss monsters besides these two. So these are your big boss monsters, these are your regular boss monsters. These are the guys that actually can use their effect in your opponent's turns as well. The small guys, the tributing can only be done in your own turn. So I believe that's it for the Infernoid monsters. And let's see, that is I believe 19 if I'm not mistaken. I believe 19 monsters, 19 Infernoids. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, 19, like I said. So 19 Infernoids monsters, so that's pretty much half your deck. What you could do is add 1 Piatti, the guy, I'm sorry for the glare, the guy that picks one from your hand, and that would get you 20, so exactly half your main deck. But I didn't really like Piatti in testing, so I just went with these 19. Then to round up the monsters, we have the Lightsworn engine, double Lumina, double Raiden, and 1 Aaron. So I'm not maining Lila, I am siding her because she is semi-searchable out to some floodgates. Pardon me. Raiden of course really good as a normal summon because he can just mill, and then Lumina really good normal summon because discarding is pretty much free. If you discard one of your big guys, they can summon from the grave, so that's fine. And you can bring back Raiden so you can mill again, and even go into some synchro plays. And then Aaron because she's a semi-searchable out with charge for the Jinlock, which is really relevant because like I said, the Jinlock can poop on you completely. Special summoning is pretty much all you want to do, so having that main deck it is searchable, but just, you know, it's 3 cards with a double charge, and you want Aaron. You have 3 cards, and then of course I'm playing some other outs in spell form as well. So in total you do have like 6 outs, kinda, unless of course you already milled this, then charge isn't really an out anymore. But let's say we have 6 outs, which is a good number in my opinion. And let's see, that's for the monsters, so 24 is the total monster count. Then spells, you have your triple win condition along with your 4th win condition, the triple reasoning and monster gate. I actually kind of feel like monster gate is going to go to 2, or to 2 at the coming ban list, because I feel like they want Konami wants to push Infernoid since they are getting more support, and this is a deck they can make some money on still. But for now we have these 4, and people will always call 4 on your reasoning, which is fine. I know you're not going to get your Aaron or Raiden mostly, or Lumina. Well, if they call 4 you can get your Lumina, and that can get you some plays. But if they call 4 and they hit any of these, you won't be able to special summon them. But that's kind of fine. I know if you just mill some Infernoids of a reasoning, you're mostly good. When you mill like 2 or more, you got all the value you need out of reasoning. 2 or more Infernoids, that of course, not 2 or more cards. 2 charge, of course, this searches your 5. Lightsworn, as well as milling 3 cards. Double Galaxy Cyclone, just because this is also usable when you mill it, so that's why I main these over MST. 1 Void Seer, you don't really need to. 1 is fine. You can break Void Seers. You don't really want to open too many Void Seers, so just milling this is fine. And pretty much when you resolve the 1 Void Seer, you're winning the game anyways. The 1 Burial, this kind of refills your tank. You know, the Burial is broken. What I did notice is that you pretty much always mill this card. But okay, that happens. And then 3 more Jin out. So you double Book of Eclipse and Raigeki. So why I choose to go with double Book of Eclipse over, for example, Dark Hole in the main deck, is Book of Eclipse resets your own levels as well. So when you Book of Eclipse and you have like the big guys face up already, they get flipped down, flip face down, and you can put down some more monsters, flip your face down, face up, and now you can just OGK really easy. So Book of Eclipse is just more generally usable than Dark Hole would be. And then I'm playing 3 traps. I'm main decking Mistake to simplify your Necros matchup even further. And the 1 Torrential Tribute, which I actually kind of like as a tech in this deck. People aren't playing around this card. And when you have all your monsters on the field, even if you do have them, you can chain their effects to get some card out of your opponent's grave. And even if you don't want them, the monsters you're blowing up on your field are free, like I said, or pretty much free. That you can summon them from the grave. So I really like Torrential Tribute, and Torrential can be a blowout card, and it's also an out against the Jin lock. When you already have this set and they go for the Jin lock, you can Torrential their Colossus or whatever they have with the Jin away. So I kind of like the Torrential in the main deck. The extra deck, now this isn't the most relevant portion of this deck. We do have Big Eye and Draco stack, rank 7s. You can kind of make these. You do have double Seismitas, that doesn't really come up that much, but you do have some level 7 Synchros in your extra deck as well, which are kind of easy to make with Raiden and Harmonic, for example, or just Lumina Raiden. So Big Eye comes up some points. This doesn't really come up, but you know, it's just there as an option. Castel, like I said, you can do some fun things with this, flipping something face down and getting rid of it with Pleamer, the level 1 guy. But it's mostly now the floodgates. Diamond Direwolf, same story, but this actually clears your field, so you can clear the Diamond Direwolf so you don't have any levels on your field. Level Chain, this is actually kind of relevant, of course, ditching an Onku or Diviati in the grave. Gemini Pearl, this is really good because this doesn't have an effect, so his level doesn't count. So when you have Piatti and Raiden or something, you just overlay in Gemini Pearl, that's already 2600. Now if you have a Tundil, and a Tundil of course can attack twice, and if your opponent wouldn't have anything on the board, for example, or if you cleared it with Raigeki, that's an OTK right there, because you have 28, 28 is 56 plus 26, and it's 82. So that's it for the Xyz. Then you have Star Eater, Crimson Blader, this is really relevant for the mirror match, and it's kind of good against Shadol and Necros. Scrap Dragon, another card that can clear your field, so it's kind of useful. But like I said, most of these cards you don't really use that often. Black Rose, another card that clears your field. Ancient Sacred Wyvern, now this is actually pretty good. Raiden plus Harmonic, but this allows for some OTKs. So Ancient Sacred Wyvern is actually kind of relevant. Michael, Scrap Archfiend, this is kind of like the same thing with Gemini Pearl. That doesn't have an effect, so he's 2700, level 7, which you can easily make with Lumina Raiden, or Lumina with level 4, or no, Lumina's not a tuner, Raiden with Harmonic. And he doesn't have a level, so you can summon Sestimas next to it, or once again a Tundil for an OTK, or Sestimas to go into a rank 7. You know, it offers some plays. You should play these vanilla Synchros and Xyz. Clearwing Synchro Dragon for Raiden plus Antra. And Gaianite, Force of the Earth. Once again a vanilla Synchro, 2600, level 6, Raiden and Antra. Again. So yeah, that's the extra deck. Right now we're signing, and I haven't been able to test this deck too much, so I'm not quite sure about the side, but that's what I've been running right now. The one Lilacs, this is semi-searchable to Floodgates. Jinzo, this is actually really good. I definitely recommend people playing Jinzo. The Spell Counselor, because this shit's on Necros, and it's really easy to summon in this deck, and I might even up this to 2, maybe even 3, to be honest, because this definitely wins you the Necros matchup. The only reason why I didn't play too much is because it's a bad mill, pretty much. But people are going to call like 4 of Reasoning, and then you get the special summon this. So yeah, Yeah, I actually think you should play more of these. Double Chaos Hunter, this card's amazing. Shits on Necros. For those of you who don't know what this does, this actually says in the last line your opponent cannot banish cards, so that's really good. And you can special summon this when your opponent special summons a monster. You discard one card and then you special summon Chaos Hunter. And of course you can normal summon her as well. But yeah, so when your opponent goes like special summon Unicorn, you special summon this, and Unicorn can get over this. They have to summon Trishla or Velcros to actually get over her, but then Trishla wouldn't get her effect. So that's terrible. And just when you summon this, when they don't have a field, it's really difficult for your opponent to stop any of your pushes. They can't banish their spells from the grave. Just when a Necros player can banish, it's going to be difficult for them. Dark Hole, just another Jin out. Triple MST, double breakthrough skill for Winda, Vanity's Fiend, Majesty's Fiend, just the monster floodgates. Double Malevolent Catastrophe for Clifford, and then double Decree for Tellers, pretty much. And of course some other decks that spam trap cards. So yeah, that's the entire deck. In the comment section down below, let me know what you think of this deck. How do you think this deck is going to be able to do in the upcoming formats? And if you have any recommendations for this deck. I feel like the main deck is really solid. Like I said, the side deck I'm not quite sure of. And the extra deck, well, as it is, it's solid, but it's not that relevant, to be honest. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Please thumbs up this video if you enjoyed this video. And I'll be doing some more deck profiles, of course, when the July ban list hits. I'll be pumping out a lot more deck profiles then again, because right now it's just like, do you really want to put down some deck profiles, because then in like 2 weeks they're irrelevant because things changed on the ban list. So I'll probably, like I said, with this deck I don't think a lot will change. Maybe Monster Gate will go to 2, but that's pretty much all I expect for this deck to change, if that at all. But yeah, after, and I think that's going to be July 14th, probably, but they'll announce it earlier, so yeah, I'll be back with some more deck profiles. Don't worry about that. For now, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!